I live in Canada. If you're hearing this, you're probably one of the 79% of my listeners who reside in the true north, strong and free. For my entire life, this country I call home has been home to hockey, cold weather, maple syrup, a championship basketball team, more hockey, but most importantly, a strong sense of multiculturalism. As a Canadian-born Jew, born from Moroccan immigrants, Canada has allowed us to practice our religion in the methods and ways that we feel accustomed to. I can walk outside wearing my kippah and tzitzit, or pray with a quorum, a minyan, in a public setting. I can build synagogues according to the rites and traditions that my ancestors practiced, and it's acceptable and respected. Like us, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, and even atheists are able to live among each other in relative peace. But often, history has a way of showing its ugly face. The First Nations resided in this beautiful country centuries before Canada's independence took place in 1867. As a result, they are privy to certain laws and exemptions, protection of their territory, and access to residential schools for their children. Not long ago, unmarked mass graves of innocent children belonging to one of these schools were discovered near Kamloops, British Columbia, and just recently, another one of these mass graves in Saskatchewan. Fear is that there could be many like these all across the country. The disregard and disdain towards these children, the outright killing of guiltless students who did nothing wrong other than being part of the First Nations tribe, is a nasty stain on our country that will never be erased. Many are calling for the removal of Canada Day, today, July 1st. Cancel culture, as the term has been coined, to cancel any connection to this quote-unquote despicable country. I have read blogs about families picking up and leaving, not because of the brutal winters, but because of the outright atrocities that took place. It doesn't take a historian to know that what happened in these schools was nothing but shameful. Those who are responsible, if they're still around, should be held accountable. Somebody should apologize, but I'm just not sure if taking it out on the country is the way to go. Reason? Simple. Because just like humans, countries and nationalities make mistakes because of the humans that run them. Any Jew who has read even the most basic Holocaust studies will tell you that the term "none is too many," infamously said by Canada's Prime Minister William Lyon Mackenzie King, described the immigration policies of the Canadian government, which closed its doors to Jewish refugees who were fleeing the Holocaust. Oh, if I can only meet him now, what I would say to him. So many adjectives to describe a man who had a glorious opportunity to save thousands of human lives and shunned them away. Yet, fast forward over 80 years later, and Canada is home to one of the largest Jewish communities in the world. A thriving one, to say the least. So what happened? Why didn't immigrants boycott? Why didn't they refuse this country after such a statement? Why aren't we escaping right now? Answer: because the actions of one man decades ago should not determine the state of the country in the present, as long as it's not a dictatorship, obviously. Shaul HaMelech, the first ever Jewish king in history, one of the greatest Jewish personalities to ever live, blithely murdered the Kohanim of Nov, the priests, just for allowing David to take refuge in their city. The greatest Jew assassinating the holiest ones. Shaul was punished, deservingly so, but he recognized his mistake and repented towards the end of his life. Can you imagine if the cancel culture phenomenon was around at the time of Shaul? People would be chanting in the streets, "Cancel the kingship," or worse, "Cancel Judaism." But we don't. We are so proud to be Jewish, even with all the internal atrocities and tragedies of our past. We focus on the brighter parts of our history that clearly outshine all the darker ones. We recognize all the good that we have around us and feel grateful that we live in a country that welcomes us with open arms and allows us to express our religious traditions and rights. While we look forward to a future in Eretz Israel, our true homeland, right now, for whatever reason that is, Hashem has me here in Canada, or maybe you somewhere else in USA, in Europe, South America, wherever. Always remember, there were times in history when Jews like me were not so fortunate. Thank God, now we are. Happy Canada Day.